everyone, and welcome back to another magical Wednesday. We are so happy to bring you another podcast episode of the Why We Disney podcast. Today we are going to do something a little different. Instead of talking about a specific resort or a specific land, we're going to give you everything from everywhere legitimately. I don't want to keep rambling because there's a lot to go over, so let's go on over to the episode.
What is up, guys? Welcome back. I hope you are having a very magical Wednesday. My name is Kaycee, and as always, I am joined with my beautiful co-host, Kara.
Hi.
All right. Have you guys ever wondered if that piece of merchandise or if that restaurant is actually worth your money? Listen, we have all been there, right, Kara?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, today we are going to give our personal opinions on what is worth the price in Walt Disney World. So there are so many different categories when we talk about Disney merchandise and Disney food, from clothing to jewelry to bags to mugs, books, quick service restaurants, service restaurants. Goodness, there is so many different things. So we've split it up into 3 different categories today, okay? The first being park souvenirs. The second is park food, which is our favorite. And the third, finally, is shop Disney. So that's kind of what we're going to run through today. Kara and I are going to chat about the things that we think are worth the money here at Walt Disney World. But obviously, you guys, we want to hear from you. So if you wouldn't mind shooting us over a DM, what is a restaurant or what is a piece of merchandise that is worth your money? Your good, hard work, money that you worked for, what is worth it to you? Okay. Is it merchandise? Is it food? Is it a fancy resort? We cannot wait to hear your responses. But let's go ahead and get started. So, Carol, what are we starting out with today?
Oh my gosh, there's just so much to think about when you're thinking all things in the parks. We're starting with park souvenirs. Park, okay? All parks, Disney World, Disneyland, everything. Okay, so the first thing that I have to start out with, something that I think is worth the price, doesn't matter which price it is, by the way, is Disney pins. Okay, as we all know, Disney pins are something that is near and dear to so many Disney pin traders' hearts, but it's near and dear to Disney park enthusiasts because it's been with the parks since the dawn of times. Okay. And especially if you know that something new is coming, a new pin is coming. We all know there's going to be a bunch of stuff, but pins hold such a near and dear place to our hearts. So if you're new to the whole Disney realm and you're going to the parks, you'll notice that pins are actually labeled by color. So you're going to turn the pin over and be like, what's the price? And it's just going to say red. You're going to be like, oh, for free? No. Okay. Because that's what I thought as soon as I went there. I was like, there's no price. It's 0.0. No. So normally green is the cheapest. It's by this ranking. It's green, silver, or red. I don't know. They're changing that out. Green, silver, red, blue, yellow, and then pink. Okay. And then green is the cheapest, normally at about $7.99 or $9.99, going to about $14.99 per pin. And it's worth it, y'all. I know when I go and I'm looking for a specific pin, and I'm very particular with my pins. I don't go and just get every single Tinkerbell pin. I'm not a pin trader because I keep all of mine. No one's taking my pins. But the newest one I just got was the newest pin, the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and the little car moves, because that's the one pin I have for that ride. You see what I'm saying? I have one pin for Tower of Terror, one pin for Rock and Roller Coaster, so on and so forth. And it's just memories. So I got a Pop Century pin when I stayed there. I don't have any other resorts because I haven't stayed there yet. You see what I mean? So pins are really nice. Spend your money on pins, y'all. It's okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question here. So you didn't get a pin for Art of Animation? Didn't you stay there with your mom?
I did. I have a Pop, Art of Animation, and All-Star Movies.
And All-Star. Okay, cool. That's going to be a fun collection now.
Yes, so I'm excited about that. So the second thing I have to tell the listeners to get is Memory Maker. Now, I will put a disclaimer on this. Only if you need the photography assistants. I know a lot of us out there that are good with the camera. We can get down, we can get the angles, we can get those Instagrammable pictures. We put the things out there on the Facebook that everyone wants to see, Trader Sam, blah, blah, blah. So like for me, I don't necessarily need Memory Maker. But if you don't want to worry about, getting your camera out or someone being out of the picture, or if you're shy and don't want to ask random strangers to take a picture, those PhotoPass photographers at all of the parks are just absolutely amazing. To my knowledge, it's about $199 when you book. It's a little bit cheaper if you book before you actually get there. So when you're going on and doing all that, make sure to add Memory Maker if you want a little extra pictures. Plus in Memory Maker, you can get the awesome pictures on the rides.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Kaycee, but seeing the picture of me on Tower of Terror is just chef's kiss. It's great. I love seeing it like on Tower of Terror when you go through like Space Mountain. They have the cool little magic shots. So it's worth it. Definitely. And then my third thing is then anything that makes you happy. When I say that in the parks, like some people like to justify like, oh, is this like koozie really going to be worth it to me? Oh, is this worth it? Does it make you happy and bring you joy? Then yes, it's worth it. Now, if you want to think about like a financial stance, I go by the dollar method. So for example, this Spirit jersey, I think was about $80. Yeah. So am I going to wear it 80 times? Yes. I wear a Spirit jersey every single day of my life. So like even with a cell phone, like I know that my cell phone costs so many dollars. I'm going to have the cell phone for 2 to 3 years. That's the dollar method. So I go by the dollar method. Am I going to use this coffee cup 25 times? Yes. So if you ever want to go by the dollar method, that's kind of like the thing that I do for everything.
Okay, stop. That is amazing to think. That is amazing to think about. Like, what a cool way to purchase things. Am I going to use it 80 times? Absolutely, I'm going to wear my Spirit jersey 80 times.
Yes.
What?
So that's like, if there's a bag and it's like really expensive and I'm just like, I don't think I'm going to, this Loungefly, I think I'm going to use it like 50 times. So I'm just not going to get it. So the dollar method really works, people.
I love the dollar method. And now that I know what that is, it's like my new thing. I'm doing it for everything now. Everything that I buy. And will I wear this jacket 56 times?
Yes. Okay. Now you can't do that with everything, like prom dresses and stuff like that. You can't use the dollar method for everything. But when you're thinking of like everyday stuff, it really helps. Especially when you're in the park and you can spend all your money, like me, on just everyday Disney. It helps you prioritize.
I love that. Holy crap. You just blew my mind in one section. We're just in the first segment. Holy crap.
I'm so sorry.
Y'all have got to tell us if you go by the dollar method or if you're just like me and just learned about it today. Like I was today years old.
Let us know in the comments. But what are you doing? What are you buying in the parks these days?
Goodness. So I want to say disclaimer. So it's really rare when I purchase a park souvenir. Obviously, like I love and I want everything that I see. I'm like, yes, I want this. I love this. But honestly, like for me, it's all about what's most important to you, right? And you said this a little bit in your section too. I would just rather spend my money on like a nicer restaurant or like a different resort instead of like bringing home a ton of souvenirs. You know what I'm saying? But there are some things that I have bought in the parks and that I do think is worth the money. So let's go ahead and get started. My number one top, right? I recommend that you grab this souvenir when you go to the parks is the Disney ponchos. First of all, super helpful and useful. And yes, they are plastic, but they're it's like a thicker plastic, like a different material. They don't like rip super easy. They're thick plastic. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. But those range anywhere from $9 to $12. You have kid sizes and you have adult sizes. One thing that I think is super cool that they do is if you buy one of these Disney ponchos on a trip and you keep your receipt, and let's say for some reason that poncho gets ripped during that same trip that you're on, you can take it to any Disney shop with your receipt and your ripped poncho, and they will actually replace it to you for free. Not cool. So another reason why I think that's worth it. It's super useful in Florida, and probably in California or wherever. I just think they're great, and they're reasonably priced too. So Disney poncho is my number one recommendation, right? You can never go wrong with a Loungefly or a Spirit jersey. My only issue with the Loungefly is the size, right? Like they're so cute, and I could collect them and have them all over my walls, but it's the size for me.
They're too small.
They're too small. Like once you fit my poncho, my water bottle, and my cell phone, like it's about taking up the whole bag. I don't know.
And for those of us that, now I haven't done this recently, but when you change outfits, there's no room for extra clothes. And I don't know about you, but like I like my purses and stuff big. So it's not, I don't know. I can see everything. In a Loungefly, everything's so squished together. It's so hard.
Yes. And now I have a Loungefly. I love my Loungefly, but worth the price. They range anywhere from $75 to $90. Whatever's most important to you. Listen, whatever is most important to you. I think they're really cool bags, and obviously I love them all. So the only other thing that I would recommend is like a Disney souvenir and also a collector's item. Kara said her pins, right? Super important to her, and they're memories that she'll keep and hold forever. So for me, that is magic bands. Okay. So in my opinion, they're a super cool souvenir, worth the price. I'm obsessed with my little collection that I have, and they can be used on like future Disney trips as well. Same as a poncho. You can use that again in the future. It's not a one and done purchase, right? So that's the only other thing that I would say I recommend for a souvenir are those really awesome magic bands with all the characters and get your name on it and all that fun stuff. So.
And those magic bands, you can take however many you want. Like in my trip, like every day I'm changing so it matches my outfit or matches my ears or something. And I will say I really, in 2019, when I started to become this big Disney fan, I loved magic bands, and I still do. Magic bands are so special to me, and I love all the designs. But then when 2020 hit and like all this, like, are magic bands going away, blah blah blah, are we not going to use them anymore? Now you can do it on your phone or on your Apple Watch. Like, I'm just so scared that people are buying these like $50 magic bands and then they're not going to work in 2022. It's like, that's why I would go and buy other ones that I really liked, like the Epcot Family Wine Festival, super cute, like the Remy one, super cute. But I'm just like so scared on the inside that they're just going to stop working one day.
I agree. That would be so upsetting if they did completely shut them out. That'd be so, because they work so well. They're such a great thing, and they're so easy to use. Like, I don't know. We can go on and on about magic bands. I'm pretty sure we have talked about magic bands before. How much we love them. But yeah, so, and I think like even if Disney does go away with them one day, they're going to be super valuable. So in my opinion, I'm like, buy them up. They're like $5 or $10 if you're staying on properties. So yeah, those are my recommendations. All right, guys, we have so much more for you, but we are going to take a really quick ad break. Hold tight and we will be right back.
Okay, everyone, so we talked about all of the amazing souvenirs that we think are worth the price or worth you getting for the memories. But that's the souvenirs. something we also need to talk about is that park food, okay? Because some of us foodies out here, and I don't even know if I'm a foodie. Like, I've been saying I'm a foodie on the podcast, and I really don't think I am. I just love the like exploration and the like culture and learning and blah blah blah. So here's my recommendations for park food that I think is worth the price. Number one is Cinderella's Royal Table. And I will put another disclaimer, only once.
Yeah.
I think it's worth doing it one time, but once you do it that one time, I don't think it's worth the price again.
Gotcha.
I love the atmosphere. I loved being able to see Cinderella. Normally you can see all the princesses. Right now it's just Cinderella. But for the very big price, it's just not a lot of food.
Yeah.
I was very hungry. And it just like wasn't a lot of food for your price. I know you're also paying for the atmosphere and anything, but like when I'm going to the grocery store, I can get a lot of groceries for $60. And so what they put on my plate was just like not a lot. And I wasn't the biggest fan of the cuisine. I think it's just because it was a little too fancy for my normal just like pasta taste buds. But it's worth doing it once, but other than that, that like $60 adult price tag is just a little hefty in my opinion.
Steep. It's a steep. And now it is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it up front? Like before you even sit down at that restaurant, like you have to pay up front, right?
Yes, even when the dining plan was in session, it is the only meal as of right now that you have to pay up front before you even get there. So you gotta like it either way.
Yeah, you're gonna pay for it either way.
Yes. My other park food is just to go eat around the world at World Showcase in Epcot. I mean, just such a learning opportunity. I have a very picky palate, but that doesn't mean I don't want to go and try things from Morocco. I don't want to go try things from France. You're not really going to get all these authentic options in one place anywhere else in the world that I really know of. So take a little bit of extra spending money. I will say some of them are a little bit expensive. That $6 cannoli is still questionable, but because it's so small. Anyway, it's worth it just to go try. And then the other one, of course, is Topolino's, specifically the breakfast over at the Riviera Resort. I know Kaycee loves it too. We could go on and on about Topolino's. We could have a whole podcast episode about it. But right now, it is the character breakfast for that $60 adult price. I was just there last week for my trip, and it's 100% worth it. You can see Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy have Mickey waffles. Mickey and Minnie waffles. It's the only place on property that has mini waffles.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, fun fact. So if you're looking for mini waffles, they're there. So Topolino's is my third one. And I just want to give an honorable mention to Woody's Lunchbox over in Hollywood Studios, just because you have the Pop-Tart, you have the tachos, great, and for affordable prices. A lot of food for affordable prices. So
right.
Honorable mention there.
Honorable mention. I do agree. Gosh, Topolino's it's just like, you just have to. Like, you just have to make it work. And yes. Kara said, I've had the breakfast. Kara said breakfast is amazing. The lunch is amazing. The dinner menu is great. A little bit more expensive, but like just that whole place is just worth it.
Yes.
100% every time. Worth it.
And so
is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
Oh, okay. So I know we said park food. I know we said that. I read it. Okay. Yeah. I cannot. I have to recommend Joffrey's coffee. I can't. I'm sorry. I just have to. Okay. Y'all think about it. Like, Joffrey's is a specific to Disney. Like, you have to. And like, everyone loves, I love Starbucks. I have it 2 or 3 times a week. Kara probably has Starbucks more a week than I do. Okay. Like, we love Starbucks, but when I'm in Disney, it's just that specific coffee brand that's in Disney. Okay. So I would recommend, and I think they're worth the money, any specialty Joffrey's drink. I'm not going to mention all of our favorite ones. Kara has favorites. I have it. Brandon has favorites, right? But I'm not going to mention all those. You can listen back to our previous podcast about Joffrey's, and we explain where those are, what they taste like, and how great they are, right? Now, keep in mind, I do have an annual pass, so my coffee is a tad bit cheaper than like the normal person. But if you are annual pass or DVC, you do get a discount on it. But my price is about $4.85 per coffee, and I have at least 3 a day. You do the math. But without the annual pass discount, it's about $5.35, $5.50, somewhere in there. Okay, so keep that in mind. I would highly recommend trying a specialty Joffrey's drink at one of the locations because they're all pretty good. My second one is going to be the Crystal Palace in Magic Kingdom. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about this one, but I think it's worth every penny. Every penny, okay? The food is awesome, and it's all you can eat, too. So Kara was talking earlier about Cinderella's Royal Table. It's just a lot of money for a small portion of food, and even though it's good, you kind of leave not full. That is not the case at Crystal Palace. Like, you leave completely stuffed. It is all you can eat. It's about $35 to $59 per person, depending on when you're eating. I think breakfast is a little bit cheaper. Lunch and dinner is a little bit more expensive. Kara, have you ate at Crystal Palace?
No. My 2020 trip that got canceled, I had the dining plan for breakfast at the Crystal Palace because I really wanted to eat with Winnie the Pooh.
I know.
But I haven't been there yet. It's on my list.
Yeah. No characters right now, as of now, but hopefully they'll bring characters back and keep it around that same price. But like I said, worth every penny. The food is great, and it's all you can eat. Okay. The next one, this is over at Disney Springs that I would recommend is Blaze Fast Fired Pizza. So this is an incredible pizza place. It's about $15 per person per pizza. And this is one of our family's favorites. Kara, have you ate at Blaze Pizza before at Disney Springs? I can't remember if you have.
I know exactly where it is, but I always pass it.
You can point it out. But yes. It's a really cool option if you didn't get a dinner reservation somewhere and you're feeling like the best pizza you've ever had, go to Blaze Pizza in Disney Springs. Family favorite. All right. This is exclusive Disney tip from Kaycee Pittman. You have to go to this restaurant next time you go to Disney. Everyone that's listening, and Kara, you as well. Okay, Disney Springs, Chef Art Smith's Homecoming. You need a reservation. They're not too hard to get, but their brunch, Kara, it was the best meal I've ever had in Walt Disney World.
Really?
Ever.
Wow.
Like, as I'm eating, I could cry. Like, the food was so good. I'm so weird. That's weird.
No, it's not.
But the atmosphere is super cool. My food was amazing. Ask Laurel. She went with me. She had the very same experience. She's like, I could cry right now. And I'm like, me too.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Homecoming.
Is
it Southern cuisine?
Yes. So it's kind of like, it's almost like a mom and pop location, but it's that Southern style food.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, maybe that's why Kaycee likes it so much. No, I really like Southern food, and I think that it feels closest to home.
Yeah.
Homecoming. Okay, get it?
Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
Yes, I have to try it though.
You absolutely have to. And this is the first time I've ate at this restaurant before, and it's like changed my life. I can't wait to take Daniel, and yeah, it's going to be great.
So I really just want to put this information in there because we've been talking all about these places to eat, and we've been talking about all this merchandise, and I know we didn't have it on our topic, but it just popped into my head because you said the trigger word annual pass, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to read this. It says Disney World annual passes sales will resume soon. So the day we are recording this, This is when the information came out. It says, for those wondering about Walt Disney World annual passes, new pass sales will become available in time for the start of the 50th anniversary celebration. Walt Disney World Resort will be sharing additional information later this month, so stay tuned for more. So they're saying additional information is coming later this month in August. So I'm assuming they'll be out in September. And for someone that is hopeful to get a new annual pass, can you just let our listeners know a little bit about how they could save? Like, what is the general, is it 10% on merchandise? What is it on restaurants? Is it anything on restaurants?
Yeah. Yeah, so I believe it's 10% at restaurants. I believe for some it might be 15, and also it's different for merchandise too. But for restaurants, you're going to get a discount anywhere from 10 to 15%. For merchandise like clothes, a lot of times it's 20% on like t-shirts and like apparel type clothes. So it roughly depends on, whatever you're buying. But something that I found is really worth it is obviously the discount on food while you're there, but obviously the resort stay. And if you can knock a resort down from $275 a night to $230 a night, like, I think that's worth it. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite discount, is the discount we get on resorts and stuff.
I can't wait. I really, 2022 is speaking it into existence that I will be an annual pass holder.
Yes, you will. I believe it. I'm speaking it into existence right now.
And not only can you use it in the parks, but you can use it on Shop Disney too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like a.
I don't. Now that I said yeah, I actually don't think you can, because I remember there was at one point when they had sent out like some email or like speak to your travel agent about this, but it was like for a limited amount of time, we got 30% off every merchandise in the park and on Shop Disney. And they were like, please be reminded that like it's not normally on Shop Disney. So for that amount of time, whenever that was, we got 30% off everything. That's obviously not happening anymore, but
yeah. So it's maybe on Shop Disney.
Yeah, maybe.
And so since we're talking about Shop Disney, let's just go on and say some merch that we think is worth it for Shop Disney.
Yeah.
What are we buying on there? For me, no, I don't want to go first. It's your turn to go first. You go first.
Oh, it's my turn to go first. All right. So Spirit jerseys, they're worth it. Look, they're on Shop Disney. You get them shipped straight to your house. Okay. Spirit jerseys is my number one for me. And y'all, I'm obsessed with these sleeping plushes. Have you seen these, Kara? Are they not? Oh my God. They're the cutest thing. And I really, for the longest time, I wanted the Pooh one with his little gown on and his hat. And every time I'd go in the store, I would just hug him. They're on Shop Disney. I think right now I want Spin. I had went through a Pooh stage, but now I think I want sleeping Spin.
Got it.
Those are my two that I would say hit up on Shop Disney. That's what Kaycee's buying. I don't know about you. What are you buying, Kara?
I would say ornaments. I'm a big ornament person. Yes, I do have a separate Disney tree of just Disney ornaments. It's very bad. So Disney ornaments, because you can get a lot of sales on Shop Disney, 15% off, 10% off. And also just like any home decor. Mm-hmm. Anything that's like just like home, I'm very into home decor and like signs and things like that. So Shop Disney for me is a place to go. And then bags. They always have like the Dooney and Burke, the Loungefly, the this, the that. I'm not necessarily buying those bags because I have another park ticket to buy or a flight to buy to go to Disney. But you can always get those off of Shop Disney as well.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, moving on to a fun little game that I came up with. Okay. It's called, you ready? Mm-hmm. Is it worth it? Kara and Kaycee edition. So original, right?
Yes.
Is it worth it? All right. So we talked about some restaurants earlier, but there are some really, really popular restaurants that we didn't mention. So what we're going to do is kind of read off some of these, and we're going to rate 1 to 5. Is the experience worth it? Is the price worth it? Okay. Ready? Here we go. The first one, be our guest.
5. It's a 1 to 5 rating, right?
1 to 5. Yep, you're right. Okay, so I'm going to say a 4, only because I really miss the Beast walking around. Is he walking around anymore, or is he still not?
No, he was. And I didn't think he was. We had a reservation and he was walking around. And I thought that only happened at dinner, so I was very surprised.
So, okay, then I'm changing mine from a 4 to a 5 because I thought he wasn't walking around anymore.
Yeah.
All right, next one, Kaycee's Corner.
4.
Same. I would say a 4.
Only because I think their menu is very repetitive. I mean, we get it, hot dogs, but there's no like variation. There's not many variations, so I can't really, I'm just getting the same thing every single time.
Yeah, I agree. A 4 for me, Kaycee's Corner. Love it. And obviously I'm going to get it because it's my Instagram handle, but yeah. I love this next one. So Chef Mickey's, 1 to 5.
I will say 3. Okay. I think it's a little pricey for what it is, but it's when I was there when I was like 6 or whatever, it was the very first character dining experience I had. So it has a little special place in my heart. That's why I'm giving it.
So you say a 3. I will give it a 4 just for the nostalgic feeling, like the characters and it's in the Contemporary, which is like one of the OG resorts, right? Yeah, I would say a 4. The food is nothing to like jump around about. The price, I think it's a little pricey. So yeah, I think it's definitely something that you should do with your family though, especially if you have young kids. I think it's a cool restaurant. Yep. Next one, Chicken Guy, 1 to 5.
3.
Are you about to say 6?
No, 3. I love the food there and I think it's really affordable. There's just not a lot of seating. So it's just like kind of hard. Like I don't want to be surrounded by people all the time. These Springs, you're always surrounded by people. So I love Chicken Guy, but I don't know. 3.
Yeah. I would say a 5 because I just truly love the food. And like you said, it is affordable. They really don't have a lot of seating though. And that is frustrating when you get your food and you're like walking around and there's literally nowhere to sit.
Yes.
All right. Our next one is Planet Hollywood.
You go first.
Yeah. So I love Planet Hollywood. I've only been there once. I would say it's a 4. Yeah, I loved what I got. Every time you go though, I'm like, everything that you get, I'm like, holy crap, that looks amazing. All right, tell me your rating. Mine's a 4.
2.5. And I only say this because, listen, the food is amazing. I had this berry, very, very salad last time. Yeah. The food is great, but it comes with a heavy price tag.
How heavy?
It's up there, I would say. And it's not like anything Disney specific. Like I've eaten at Planet Hollywood's other than Disney Springs. So it's not just like, oh, I went and there's only one Be Our Guest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was very blessed enough to be hosted there twice. And I will absolutely go back again, but it's not anything specifically Disney. So it's just like, yeah, it's your burgers, it's your hot dogs, it's cool, everyone sing along, but like, I don't know, I'm kind of taken out of the Disney bubble there.
Very interesting. Okay, so on that same level as Planet Hollywood is what I would compare it to the next restaurant we have, which is Splitsville. Have you ever been to this one?
No.
It's the bowling alley and restaurant. You can go just to bowl or you can go just to eat. The food is amazing, but similar to Planet Hollywood, the price tag is a little up there. But the food is a 5. Like, very good food. Very good food. Our next one, Earl of Sandwich. I've never been here.
I was lucky enough to be hosted here back in the spring. And talk about the hospitality, man. The managers were great. And the food was the food. I wouldn't say go here. But it's fine. It's very affordable. If you want a sandwich for $5, that's your place to go.
Yeah.
It's filling food and very affordable. So if you want something cheap, if you're like, let's eat at Disney Springs right before we leave, Earl of Sandwich is your place to go.
Mm. Cool. I need to go there.
Yeah.
I need to go there. Our next one, Gaston's Tavern. 5 for me.
5. Oh man, maybe it's too rough. I'm gonna give it a 3.
You're gonna give it a 3. Come on, you don't love their cinnamon rolls? I've never had their LeFou brew.
I love the LeFou's brew and I love it. I love the cinnamon roll and I'm giving it a 3 just because it has a very limited menu. It always has a long line when I go, and there's never any seating when I go.
Yeah.
And so and I have to eat outside and I don't want to do that. I just want to sit down in the air conditioning. I love the theming of it and I love the LeFou's brew, but I will give it a 3.
I think this is just one of the places that my husband loves to go because he's into like hunting and doing all that fun stuff. So like when he's in that tavern, he's like, I feel like this is me. Like I like this. So that's a good one. Gideon's Bakehouse, the new like famous one that everyone's raving about.
I've never been there.
You've never been? That's okay. So for me, it's a 5. It will always be a 5. The coffee is great. The cookies are great. And I truly just appreciate the virtual queue that I can put my name in and go to World of Disney or go to wherever or eat lunch and then come back and then walk right up to the front. Like I really appreciate the system that they have going on right now. So I would give it a 5.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. The next one, Grand Floridian Cafe.
I've also never been there.
Okay. So for breakfast, it's just okay. For dinner, they have a lobster burger that is life-changing. So I would say a 4. And the only reason why it's not a 5 is just because the breakfast is just okay. Yeah. Mama Melrose, Hollywood Studios.
Ooh. I give this a 4 because the food was so good. It was worth the price. The only reason I'm not giving it a 5 is I really wasn't understanding the theming.
It's different.
Wanted it to be more Disney-esque.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. 4.
Yeah. I love the food and I think it's worth the price. So I would say like 4.5 if I could do 4.5. I like it a lot. Our next one is Ohana. Now, okay, so I don't think Kara and I have been here, but this is a really popular one. And we're going to obviously put all these on our Instagram so you can rate these 1 to 5. So you guys tell us, have you been to Ohana? Is it a 5 for you? Is it a 2.5 for you? I want to know what your number is and why. That one's a really popular one that just opened up recently. So cool. Olivias Cantina is the next one.
2.
Honestly, I would say a 2 for me too. I don't drink alcohol, so and they don't have food, right?
No. Oh yeah. No, they do. They have food.
They have something.
But my biggest complaint is you get a reservation and you're so excited to go there, and then they have a bunch of standing only.
Yes.
The bar is all standing only. Bunch of standing only tables. I'm like, I've just been walking for 18 miles in the heat of Galaxy's Edge. I want to sit down.
Yes. Yes. I would give it a 2. The things that we got were good, but yeah, I don't know. The atmosphere is interesting. I like the atmosphere. I think it's cool. Our next one is Olivia's Cafe. This is over at the Beach Club.
Nope.
You haven't been to this one? Mm-mm. I would give it a 3. With COVID and going down to that limited menu, it's just not a lot of stuff. I don't know. I'd give it a 3. Cute atmosphere though, and obviously you're at the Beach Club, so it's really nice. The next one is my favorite barbecue place. Okay, Regal Eagle Smokehouse. This is in Epcot in America.
Nope.
Nope, haven't been there. You are all about the World Showcase. I feel like you eat around the world instead of like quick services around the world.
Yep.
For sure. I would give this one a 5. My husband would give it a 5. I feel like everyone I've ever taken there, they would also give it a 5. It's very good. The next one is the Tully Canteen. This is over in Pandora.
Nope.
It's a 4 for me. The price is okay. The food is good. The food's good. The price is okay. On to the next. Okay, I haven't been to this one. So Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater Restaurant.
I love this one. It's right in Hollywood Studios before you turn the corner going to Galaxy's Edge. Amazing theming. I absolutely love it. I give it a 4. Very affordable. Food was great. The only reason it's not a 5 is because if you don't know Sci-Fi, you can't face your party because you're sitting in a car.
Oh, that's right.
So it's like people are sitting behind you. So that was like a little weird, but it's like you're watching the drive-in. So I guess it was fine. But yeah, it's definitely worth trying.
Yeah. I've never been able to get a reservation for it. And we've tried to like walk up and be like, do you have availability for it? And they're like, oh, no, definitely not.
It's packed.
Yeah. Every day is packed.
And dark. Cool. It's so dark in there.
I know. Like you even look through and you can't even see anything. It's crazy.
No, especially like we were trying to eat and I had to turn my flash on, like my phone light. Because I was like, yeah, it was that dark.
Yeah, that's insane. All right, so our next one going over to Magic Kingdom. So this is Tony's Town Square.
I've never
Lady and the Tramp themed restaurant.
But my question to you is, do you prefer this or Mama Melrose in the Italian realm?
I prefer Mama Melrose.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. The price, it's a table serve, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive. They just didn't give me enough food personally, but the food is good. I don't know. Tony's, I would say 4. Okay. I put Topolino's in here and I don't know why. Topolino's.
5 out of 5. Next.
5 next. Okay, this is the Wave in the basement of the Contemporary Resort.
Never been there.
Nope. Okay, so it's amazing. Breakfast there is amazing. If you can grab a breakfast reservation on your last day before you go home, it's a 5. The Wave is great. Yak and Yeti is the last one in Animal Kingdom.
I've been to the quick service and I like it. I'll give it a 3.
Yeah. The quick service I would give a 3 with you. I'm right there. But the table service, Yak and Yeti, I would give it a 5. The steak is really good. But wow. That was a lot of info. I'm so interested to see at what people's ratings are for these restaurants, 1 to 5. So head over to our Instagram and give us your ratings. I'm really interested to see what you guys think because we're just starting.
Yeah, and I know we only had Disney World ratings on this episode, but we are going to have Disneyland ratings as well on our Instagram and send them into us next time so we can know like what to do. Kaycee and I still haven't been to Disneyland, but we need to know your recommendations and your ratings for when we go.
Yeah, please.
All right, guys, it has been an amazing episode of the Why We Disney podcast. Thank you so much for spending your magical Wednesday with us. We hope that you got a lot of information out of this episode. If you're a Disney newbie, you know what to expect. If you are a Disney Naviance and you go all the time, maybe you're going to check out a new restaurant, or maybe you're going to buy this Spear jersey because you're going to wear it 70 times for $70. All right, if you haven't already, make sure to follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, and all of the social medias. Subscribe to our newsletter and our YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all of the Disney news, like the Fast Passes, guys. This is big Disney news here. Until next time, we will see you next Wednesday. Have a magical day. Bye.